Focus on yourself and stay silent in 2026. Silence is not weakness. It's alignment with your own purpose. 2026 should be the year you invest deeply in your healing, growth, and clarity. Not every move needs to be announced. Some transformations happen in private. Protect your energy by stepping away from comparison and noise. Self-focus is not selfish. It is the foundation of fulfillment. Your peace is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. When you stay grounded and intentional, the right opportunities find you. Speech of focus on yourself and stay silent in 2026. There comes a moment in life when the world gets too loud. Advice, opinions, expectations, comparisons, they swirl around you until you can barely hear your own thoughts. And in that moment, something inside whispers, it's time to come home to yourself. But 2026 is that moment. This is the year you stop explaining yourself to people who never intended to understand you. This is the year you stop pouring your energy into conversations that go nowhere. This is the year you choose silence, not as retreat, but as power, because silence is not emptiness. Silence is space. Space to think, to breathe, a space to feel your own heartbeat again. You do not need to announce every dream. You do not need to justify every boundary. You do not need to post every step of your healing to prove that it's real. Growth is not always loud, and transformation is not always public. Some of the most powerful breakthroughs happen when nobody is watching. So in 2026, choose you. Choose your mental health. Choose your peace. Choose to sit with your thoughts long enough to truly understand them. Choose to walk away from arguments that cost you your joy. Choose to invest in your education, your skills, your faith, your body, your purpose. Choose to build a life that feels right, not one that just looks right from the outside. There will be people who misunderstand your silence. They will mistake it for distance, pride, or coldness. But silence is not distance. It is direction. You are simply walking toward a version of yourself that requires less noise and more intention. Focus on yourself, not because the world doesn't matter, because you finally realize you matter too. Let 2026 be the year you sit in quiet rooms and finally hear your own voice. The year you stop chasing validation and start honoring your worth. The year you learn that peace is priceless and protecting it is not selfish, it is sacred. And when you emerge calmer, clearer, stronger, the world will notice. Not because you told them, but because your life will speak for itself. Stay grounded, stay silent, stay focused, and watch what grows in the garden of your stillness. If you'd like, I can also lengthen the speech, make it simpler for narration, or tailor it for YouTube or TikTok voiceover. Just tell me a 2026 should be the year you choose invest deeply in your healing, your growth, and your clarity. Think of this year as a sacred turning point where you finally decide that your inner world matters just as much as anything happening outside of you. Healing does not always look grand or dramatic. Often, and it looks quiet and gentle, like choosing rest instead of pushing yourself to exhaustion or allowing yourself to feel emotions you once tried to bury. It is the soft honesty of admitting where you have been hurt and where you still carry wounds, and then patiently giving yourself the time and space to recover. Healing in 2026 means you stop running from your past and instead learn from it. You forgive when you are ready, not because you are pressured to, but because you deserve freedom from the weight you have carried for too long. It means you release the belief that you must always be strong and allow yourself to be human. Growth will be another pillar of this year. Real growth is not only about success or achievement. It is about becoming more aware, more compassionate, more aligned with your true self. Growth means asking difficult questions. Who am I really? What do I truly want? What habits, beliefs, and relationships lift me up, and which ones slowly drain my spirit? When you invest in growth, you take responsibility for your life instead of blaming circumstances or other people. You read, you learn, you reflect, you dare to step outside your comfort zone because you finally understand that nothing changes until you do. Some days this growth will feel exciting and empowering. Other days it may feel uncomfortable because you are stretching beyond what is familiar, yet every small step counts. Clarity is the light that will guide you through all this inner work. In 2026, make clarity your goal. Clarity about who belongs in your life. Clarity about your purpose. Clarity about your values and your boundaries. When you are clear, you stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop chasing things that do not align with your heart. You stop saying yes when you want to say no. Clarity removes confusion and brings peace because you finally understand what direction your life should move in. To invest in healing, growth, and clarity, you may need to disconnect a little from noise, drama, and distractions. You may speak less and listen more. You may spend more time alone without feeling lonely because now your own company feels safe and meaningful. You begin to realize that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And when that relationship becomes strong, every other area of your life starts to improve. This year is not about rushing. It is about being intentional. It is about trading chaos for calm. It is about honoring your needs instead of ignoring them. It is about building a foundation inside yourself that no storm can shake. As you invest in your inner world, you will notice something beautiful. You become more patient, more peaceful, more confident. You start trusting your intuition. You stop explaining yourself to people who do not value your truth. You become less reactive and more reflective, and slowly life begins to feel lighter because you are no longer fighting against yourself. Let 2026 be the year you choose you, the year you look within and finally discover the strength, wisdom, and love that were always there waiting to be acknowledged. Not every move you make in life needs to be seen, heard, or discussed with others. Some of the most important and powerful transformations you will ever experience will happen quietly within you, far away from noise, judgment, and outside influence. In 2026, allow yourself the gift of privacy while you grow. You do not need to post every step or explain every decision. You do not have to prove that you are evolving. The truth is that real change rarely asks for attention. It simply asks for commitment and patience. When you work on yourself in silence, you protect your progress. You create a safe space where your dreams and goals can develop without pressure or comparison. Think about a seed planted deep in the soil. No one can see it yet, so no one can doubt it or interfere with it. Still, it grows day by guided by light and faith. Your journey works the same way. Some seasons are meant to be private so that your confidence can root itself in peace, not in approval. There will always be people who want to know what you are doing and where you are heading. Some may be curious, others may be critical. Yet you are under no obligation to share your inner world with anyone who is not aligned with your purpose. Silence becomes your boundary. It protects your energy from negativity and distractions. It shields your heart from unnecessary opinions. And it reminds you that your life belongs to you first. Private progress is powerful because it removes performance. You are no longer growing to be seen. You are growing to be fulfilled. That shift changes everything. You start focusing on effort rather than applause. You begin to value discipline over display. You honor slow, steady improvement instead of rushing just to show results. And when you do finally reveal what you've been building, it will be solid, peaceful, and authentic. Silence also teaches you to trust yourself. When you stop seeking constant advice or reassurance, you learn to listen to your own voice. You discover what feels right in your spirit. You make decisions from clarity, not confusion. You begin to realize that you already carry wisdom within you. All you needed was stillness long enough to hear it. This kind of inner trust will guide you far beyond 2026. Of course, choosing silence is not always easy. You might feel tempted to explain yourself or defend your choices. You might worry that people will misunderstand your distance. But understanding is not always necessary. Those who truly value you will respect your focus even when they do not see the full picture. And those who do not respect it do not belong in your inner circle anyway. Let this be the year you master the art of moving in peace. Work quietly, heal quietly, build quietly, grow quietly, celebrate quietly if you wish. Then, when the right time arrives, let your results speak for you. Your life will become your message. Your progress will become your voice. And that voice will be stronger than any explanation you could have given. Remember that silence is not emptiness. It is a sacred space where transformation is nurtured and protected. By honoring that space, you give yourself the best chance to become the person you are meant to be. So step back from noise. Release the need for validation. Trust the unseen work happening within you. And allow your private growth to shape a future that feels true, peaceful, and deeply aligned with your soul. Protecting your energy is one of the most important choices you can make for yourself in 2026. There is so much noise in the world, so many opinions, many distractions, so many voices telling you who to be and how to live. If you are not careful, you begin to carry all that noise inside you until you cannot even hear your own thoughts anymore. This is why you must step away from comparison and constant outside influence and protect your peace like it is something sacred. Because it is. Comparison is one of the quietest thieves of joy. It creeps into your life slowly through conversations, through social media, through the stories you hear about what others are doing. Before you realize it, you begin to measure your worth against someone else. You start to feel behind. You start to feel small. You start to feel like your journey does not matter unless it looks like theirs. But every life has its own timing and purpose. Your path was never meant to look like any other. When you compare, you blind yourself to your own progress. In 2026, choose to focus on your own lane. Celebrate your small victories. Honor the stage of growth you are in. If someone else seems ahead, that does not mean you are behind. It only means they are walking a different path. When you stop comparing, you begin to appreciate who you are and who you are becoming. You remember that you are enough. You remember that your story has value exactly as it is. Noise also drains your energy. Not just loud sound. Noise is drama. Noise is gossip. Noise is constant negativity. Noise is endless opinions that add nothing to your growth. When you surround yourself with noise, your mind becomes restless. Your spirit feels heavy. You carry stress that does not even belong to you. Protecting your energy means you gently step away from spaces that disturb your peace. You do not need to explain. You simply choose stillness over chaos. This may mean setting boundaries. It may mean saying no more often. It may mean leaving conversations that make you feel small or unseen. It may mean limiting what you allow into your mind. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors that you control. They decide what energy comes in and what energy stays out. When your boundaries are strong, your peace becomes strong too. Protecting your energy also means being kind to yourself. Speak gently to yourself. Rest when you need to rest. Do not push yourself to please everyone. You are human. You are allowed to take care of your heart, your mind, and your spirit. You are allowed to distance yourself from people who drain you, even if you care about them. Love does not require self-destruction. Peace does not require suffering. You will notice that as you protect your energy, your life begins to feel lighter. You think more clearly. You feel more grounded. You begin to attract people and opportunities that match your new level of calm and clarity. Because the energy you hold inside you shapes the world around you. When your inner world is peaceful, your outer world slowly follows. There may be moments when guilt tries to creep in. You may worry that choosing yourself is selfish, but it is not. Protecting your energy is an act of self-respect. It allows you to show up as your best self for the people and dreams that truly matter. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot shine if your light is constantly dimmed by noise you never needed to carry. So in 2026, stand guard at the door of your mind. Be mindful of what you let in. Step away from comparison. Step away from drama. Step away from anything that steals your peace. Focus on your growth, your healing, and your journey. Protect your energy and watch how your life transforms from the inside out. Self-focus is not selfish. It is the foundation of a fulfilled and meaningful life. For too long, many of us have been taught that caring for ourselves means that we do not care for others. We are told to always give, always show up, always carry the load, even when our own hearts are tired and our spirits are empty. But you cannot build a strong life while ignoring the person at the center of it. You cannot pour from a cup that is always drained. In 2026, allow yourself to understand that choosing yourself is an act of respect not only for you, but for the life you are meant to create. When you focus on yourself, you begin to listen to your needs, dreams, and limits. You pause long enough to ask real questions. Am I happy? Am I honoring what I truly want? These questions are not selfish. They are honest. They invite you to stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Too many people stay in places that hurt them because they fear disappointing others. But disappointment is temporary. Self-betrayal lasts much longer. Focusing on yourself means you refuse to abandon your own soul. This kind of self-focus is not about ego or superiority. It is not about thinking you are better than anyone else. It is about realizing that your peace, your health, and your dreams matter. It means you recognize that you deserve the same kindness and effort you give to others. You learn to speak gently to yourself instead of constantly judging your every step. You allow yourself to make mistakes without drowning in guilt. You begin to treat yourself like someone worth saving and protecting. There will always be people who misunderstand this journey. When you start setting boundaries, they may call you distant. When you choose rest, they may say you are lazy. When you walk away from what hurts, they may claim you have changed. And they are right. You have changed. You have decided to value your inner world. You have decided that your life is too precious to waste on constant stress and silent suffering. Their misunderstanding does not define you. Your healing does. Self-focus also means taking responsibility for your life. You stop waiting for others to fix you or rescue you. You stop blaming the past for everything that goes wrong. Instead, you decide to grow. You seek knowledge. You learn new skills. You take small, steady steps toward the future you want. You understand that your life is created through daily choices, not sudden miracles. And so you choose better each day, even when no one is watching. As you focus on yourself, your relationships begin to change in healthy ways. You no longer cling to people out of fear or loneliness. You choose connections that support your growth and allow you to be your true self. You communicate more honestly. You give from a place of fullness, not obligation. You love more purely because you are no longer losing yourself in the process. There may be moments when doubt appears. You might ask yourself if you are doing the right thing. But remember this. When you are at peace, when you are healthy, when you are growing, everyone around you benefits. Your presence becomes lighter. Your words become kinder. Your energy becomes calmer. You lead by example, showing others that it is safe to honor their own needs too. So let 2026 be the year you release the guilt around choosing yourself. The year you step into your power with quiet confidence. The year you build a life that reflects your heart instead of only your obligations. Self-focus is not selfish. It is the root of true strength, clarity, and joy. When you take care of yourself first, you finally have the inner foundation to create the beautiful life you have always deserved. Your peace is the greatest gift you can ever give yourself. It is greater than success, greater than attention, greater even than approval from others. Peace is the feeling of being safe inside your own mind. It is the ability to rest at night without battling endless worries. It is the gentle knowing that you are living in alignment with your truth. In 2026, allow your peace to become your highest priority. Let it guide your choices, relationships, habits, and dreams. When something costs you your peace, it is simply too expensive for your soul. Peace does not mean that life will always be quiet or perfect. It means that no matter what is happening around you, there is a solid and steady place within you that remains calm. This kind of peace is built slowly through daily choices. It grows when you listen to your intuition instead of ignoring it. It grows when you speak honestly instead of silencing yourself. It grows when you release what you cannot control and focus on what you can. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you strengthen your inner world. There will be people, situations, and environments that disturb your peace. You will feel it as tension in your body, as heaviness in your spirit, as confusion in your mind. In the past, you may have stayed in those situations to avoid conflict or to please others. But in 2026, you learn that protecting your peace is an act of deep self-love. You begin to step away from arguments that go nowhere. You walk away from drama that drains your energy. You distance yourself from people who only take and never give. You stop apologizing for doing what is best for your mental and emotional health. Peace also comes from acceptance. Accepting that you are human. Accepting that mistakes are part of growth. Accepting that not everyone will understand you or support your journey. When you stop fighting reality, you stop exhausting your soul. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means you choose to move forward with wisdom instead of resistance. You learn the lesson. We release the pain. You keep your heart open while still guarding your spirit. A peaceful life often looks simple on the outside, but it feels rich on the inside. It may involve more quiet mornings, more meaningful conversations, more gratitude, and more presence. You begin to enjoy the small moments that once passed unnoticed. The warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter, the comfort of your own company. You realize that peace is not found in constant activity, but in being fully here now. Your peace will also change the way you treat others. When you are calm within, you respond with kindness rather than reacting from pain. You listen more deeply. You forgive more freely, not because you excuse what happened, but because as you choose not to carry the burden forever. You become a source of stillness in a restless world. People will feel that energy even if they cannot explain it. There may be times when choosing peace feels difficult. You might have to let go of familiar patterns or long-standing attachments. You might face moments of loneliness as you step away from unhealthy environments. But remember that every sacrifice made for the sake of your inner well-being is a step toward a freer and more authentic life. Peace is never a loss. It is always a gain. So let 2026 be the year you protect your peace with courage and devotion. The year you refuse to live in constant tension. The year you build a home inside yourself that feels safe and steady. Because when you have peace, you have clarity. When you have peace, you have strength. And when you have peace, you hold the greatest gift you could ever give to yourself. When you stay grounded and intentional, the right opportunities begin to find you in ways that feel natural and calm. You no longer chase everything out of fear or desperation. Instead, you move with purpose and patience. In 2026, allow your life to be guided by intention rather than pressure. Wake up each day asking yourself what truly matters. What step can I take today that aligns with my values, my peace, and my long-term dreams? When your actions are rooted in clarity, life starts flowing instead of constantly feeling like a battle. You begin to trust that what is meant for you will recognize you because as you are showing up as your authentic self. Being grounded means you do not get easily shaken by outside noise or temporary emotions. You learn then to pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting in haste. Life will still bring challenges, but you face them with a steady heart. You know who you are. You know what you deserve. You know what you stand for. That inner stability becomes your anchor in every season. You stop seeking constant approval because you are already at peace with your choices. And from that solid foundation, you build a life that feels real and honest. Intentional living also means you choose your environment wisely. You spend time with people who encourage your growth, inspire your dreams, and respect your boundaries. You learn to walk away from places and energy that feel heavy or draining. You fill your mind with thoughts that uplift you instead of thoughts that tear you down. You become selective not out of pride, but out of self-respect. Because you understand that everything you allow into your life shapes the person you are becoming. As you stay intentional, the right opportunities begin to match your energy. You attract work that aligns with your purpose. You welcome relationships that honor your heart. You discover paths that feel meaningful rather than empty. You realize that success is not just about achievement. It is about fulfillment, peace, and contribution. When you stay true to yourself, you no longer fear missing out because you trust that what is yours cannot pass you by. There will be moments when things move slowly. You may feel unsure or impatient, but patience is part of the journey. Seeds do not blossom overnight. Stars do not appear in the sky all at once. Everything beautiful takes time. When you remain grounded, you do not rush your growth. You allow life to unfold with grace. You honor the process as much as the result. And while you wait, you continue improving, learning, and showing up for yourself every single day. Staying intentional also means you keep returning to your why. Why do you want this dream? Why do you want this change? Why do you want this life? When your why is strong, you can handle challenges without losing hope. You are not moving blindly. You are moving with direction, and that direction lights your path even during dark seasons. The most powerful part of staying grounded is that it brings a deep, quiet confidence. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to shout your worth. You simply live it. Your actions, your discipline, your kindness, and your consistency speak louder than any words. People begin to notice the calm strength within you. But even if they do not, you still know who you are. And that is enough. So let 2026 be the year you stand firmly in your truth, the year you move with intention instead of impulse, the year you trust that the right opportunities will meet you when you are aligned with your purpose. Stay grounded. Stay focused. Stay true to your heart and watch as life gently opens the doors that were always meant for you. Here's a heartfelt conclusion to bring the entire speech together. I have kept it flowing and reflective, and I have not used any commas or headings so it matches the style of your keynotes. In the end, this year is about coming home to yourself. It is about choosing silence not as escape, but as strength. It is about focusing on your growth, your peace, and your purpose without needing the world to clap for you at every step. In 2026, you are not chasing noise. You are not running after approval. You are not trying to prove your worth. Instead, you are learning to stand still inside your own truth. You are learning to trust the quiet work happening within you. You are learning that healing does not always shout. Often it whispers. This journey is not about becoming someone new. It is about removing everything that never truly belonged to you. Doubt, fear, comparison, expectations that weighed you down for years. You are releasing the pressure to always explain yourself. You are letting go of the need to broadcast every step. You are understanding that real power often moves in silence. Real growth happens when you listen to your inner voice more than the voices around you. When you focus on yourself, you begin to feel lighter. You begin to understand what you need and what you must walk away from. You protect your energy like a precious treasure because you finally see that your peace is priceless. You learn that not every fight deserves your presence. Not every opinion needs your response. Not every invitation deserves your yes. You choose carefully, you act slowly, you move with intention, and through that patience, the right people and the right opportunities begin to align with your life. There will still be challenges. There will still be moments when you question the path, but now you face them with a grounded heart. You remind yourself that transformation takes time, that silence is not emptiness, that focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. Because when you are whole inside, you can love deeply, lift others with compassion, and live with purpose. Let this be your promise to yourself for 2026. You will honor your journey. You will trust your timing. You will hold your peace close. You will grow quietly and beautifully. And when the world finally sees the person you have become, it will not be because you shouted. It will be because your life speaks with calm strength and unshakable clarity. Stay silent when silence protects your spirit. Stay focused when distraction pulls at you. Stay kind to your heart. And remember that the greatest work you will ever do is the work you do within yourself.